Hello! Today I wanted to go over something that I did in therapy yesterday. I found it really interesting and wanted to share, and hopefully you can use it to figure something out that maybe you need figuring out. We were talking about what I actually want from life, and for me the most important thing is to just be happy. Problem was, I didn't really know how to explain what actually made me happy, and so we did this to try and figure that out. She asked me to close my eyes and not think about it too hard, but just let 3 memories surface from when I was the most happy in my life. It was a little difficult at first because I genuinely have the world's most terrible long-term memory. It is just the worst. It's absolutely horrendous. But once I'd actually figured them out and I'd got 3, I described them, and then we looked at the similarities between each of the 3 scenarios, and that basically shows what actually makes me truly happy. My memories were quite simple, the first being just hanging around with my friends at secondary school at lunchtime, in the sun, probably in the lead up to exams, but we were just laughing and having a good time. We had this one bench that we would always go to if it was hot enough outside, and we always knew how to make each other laugh and have good times, but also be serious, and it was never boring with them, it was always just a good time. And I don't remember like a specific lunchtime or conversation, more just the general overall experience of just being with them, especially on that bench with the sun blowing down on us. The second was in Spain for my 18th. I abandoned my family at the hotel and decided to go down to the beach on my own. While there, I ended up just floating out into sea, further than my mum would care to know, she would absolutely freak out. But I just went out and just relaxed and chilled, observing the busy beach from afar. And I was quite far out, like it was really peaceful, and I basically just reflected on being 18. My entire life had been so stressful and stuff, and in that moment I was just happy, and that really springs out to me. The third memory was a few weeks ago while I was back for Easter, probably purely because of my terrible memory, but it was really fun. It was when me and one of my friends went to a coffee shop near us, and we bought these little absolutely snobby little coffee books where you just fill it out and it's like a flavour wheel and stuff, but we're just massive coffee snobs. And we sat there being so snobby and just like talking to the baristas, and it was just looking back on it, it was such a happy moment where we were just in the middle of a coffee shop not caring at all. We were just being so snobby, and we both loved it. So yeah. The one big connection that immediately jumps out to me in each of these 3 scenarios is the connection to the outside. In the first 2 scenarios, my chair just went down. Ugh. In the first 2 scenarios, I was outside in the sun, and it was really hot, it was summer. In the third scenario, it was still like hot and sunny outside, I remember. It was like the first proper day of spring. But in this coffee shop there's huge windows, and it's really still quite open, so there's still the connection to being outside and stuff, so that's the first big thing that really like jumps out. Something else was the fact that they were all quite carefree and low stress. And it's not a fact that I was being lazy, it was just a lack of worrying. Even though in the first scenario I will have had GCSEs coming up, in the second scenario it was just before I left to go to uni, in the third scenario I will have had the exams that I'm doing right now coming up. Even though there was still all that stress surrounding me, these individual moments weren't stressful, and I was just happy in that moment. And that's really something that I rarely get to experience nowadays, which is pretty sad. Two were really social settings, and I realised that I don't want to be stuck in like the corporate setting, because I want to be friends with my colleagues, like actually good friends, rather than having to have that professional relationship where you're kind of scared of your boss, really. And as much as I like respect people, I want that like connection of friendship with colleagues rather than just the corporate professional relationship. I think another thing to point out as well that I mentioned earlier was that the quite simple memories that don't involve spending a lot of money or a lot of complex planning, they're quite relatively easy to achieve, which makes me quite hopeful for the future in a way that I haven't really been before. I think this technique will be something that I use again when I'm feeling down, because it serves as a reminder that happy times have been had and more are to come. And I think it's something that you can transfer to other things in life as well. It's not just about happiness, you can transfer it to other feelings and other scenarios to just decide what you really want and make it clear. So yeah, I just thought it was a bit interesting, and if you want to try it, then give it a shot. And write it down as well, write the memories down. I was lucky enough that I had someone to talk to and explain everything to, and that made all the memories straight in my brain, and like I needed to verbally say it, and that like cemented it down. But writing it down does a pretty similar thing, so I'd definitely recommend writing it down, and you can always look back on it in the future as well. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. I sounded like a proper fake YouTuber there. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I will see you tomorrow for another video 19 in Vedim. So yeah, I'll see you.